So we're going to keep the open discussion pretty short. What I wanted to do first was just ask Jean Shipman to come up, and she's actually outgoing director of innovation at the library, the Eccles Library here on Upper Campus, the Health Sciences campus. And Jean's going to have a few cogent words for us, and then we'll have a few time for a few open questions, and then I'll introduce Keith Marmer, who's the Executive Director of the Technology Venture Commercialization Office. Thank you. Jean?
Thanks, Glenn. I just heard earlier today something that made me want to mention some resources that are available to you. We've worked with TVC and Tali Kasuchi, our innovation librarian, to put together an innovator's life cycle. And it's on eChannel, which is the innovation platform that we've created to capture what's happening at this university and elsewhere as far as innovation. But it's a life cycle, and it has different components, as cycles do, but it also has links to people at this university that you can contact for that part of the life cycle, as well as forms and different things. So just be aware, we also have an innovation libraries team that is made up of individuals from the Marriott Library and the Eccles and the Faust Law Library. And we're all here to help you. And our link is actually at the bottom of this Innovation Life Ecosystem website. So just if you have any questions, I'm here till the end, and thank you for the attention. Thank you.
Go away. One more thing. I did a shameless plug of Chris Wasden's book, and now Jean is going to do a shameless plug of her book.
Oh, okay. In July, there's going to be a book come out from the Medical Library Association about innovation and information, the natural partnership. And I truly believe that this is my passion, that there is a lot of information that we've shared today, and how can we gather all this information that we produce as a very innovative and entrepreneurial university and share it with the world. So this book will help to educate others about how they can do the same thing at their university or at their library involvement. So thank you. And he's written a selling point for the book, so thank you for that too. Okay.
Thanks, Jean. Thanks, Jean. Okay, now we'll take open questions, any questions that we have not already addressed. I know it's getting late, but there are some stalwarts here. This is great. We've tried to share a bunch of our insights. Let me just say one thing on small business review grant, small business grant review panels. The concept that they don't want to hear anything about a hypothesis is not entirely true. If it's a research tool, that may be true. If it's going to be a medical device or a drug, if you don't talk about some hypothesis-driven research, you get scotched. You get zeroed out. You're not discussed. Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you, the 4 institutes that Glycomira is in, we get our butts booted out if we don't talk about hypothesis-driven research. So if you don't talk about mechanism of action and you're doing a therapeutic or a device, you're screwed.
Well, but if you have a mechanism of action in mind, that's a different story.
Well. Yeah, and it really depends on the panel. One panel will tell you one thing, and you'll change everything around, and you'll address the problems for that panel, and it'll go to some different people on the different panel, and they'll come back and say, well, why did you do that? You know, you should have stayed the way you were. They don't say that, of course, but that's what... Yeah. It's idiosyncratic is what it is, which is just a nice way of saying it's a crapshoot. So other questions, points? Insights. Going once. Going twice.
Okay.
Yes. Kai.
I shouldn't be asking questions here, but I just want to point out, we heard about so many resources today that people are diving into, and there's so many different ones at the university. Can you maybe just point out where people can go to and find out where they can find those resources? And is there a website? And
yeah,
including this meeting.
Yeah, this meeting, thanks Kai, this meeting itself is going to be, we've been taking video, the speakers' bios, the program, the speakers' slides will all be on the EFS website. It's efs.utah.edu. You can also find it by going to the innovation ecosystem, which is innovate Utah / www.utah. What is it, Thad? it's Utah, and it's Innovate in Utah, Innovate Utah, and you'll come up with this website here, the Innovation Ecosystem. But efs.utah.edu, and you'll come up with a site for the EFS, and there'll be a thing for Translational Medicine Symposium. You'll click on it. We have all the past years. You can find all the slides from the past years as well as this current batch, plus the bios will be on the website. Tomas?
If I may do some advertising as well.
Okay.
What we also have is opportunity for testing early stage projects. So we have ideas. We have students team who learn the design control process and develop initial concepts and can evolve your project to the point of maybe advancing it further to competitions, etc. So that doesn't cost you anything, and it's another resource available at the university.
Thank you, Tomas. So, with no further ado, I'm going to introduce our new executive director of the Technology Venture Commercialization and Associate VP for Research, Keith Marmer, who comes to us most recently, well, almost most recently, from Penn State Hershey, which is the medical campus for Penn State, via University of Pennsylvania, via a VC firm that he was involved with, an investment firm that he was involved with. And so he's now our new executive director. And I've worked with Keith for 5 years now, it seems like. Thank you very much for joining us here at the University of Utah. And Keith, if you could make some closing remarks, that would be wonderful.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging around for a few extra minutes. I know I'm standing between everyone and the door, so I will keep these remarks brief. As Glenn mentioned, I'm new to the University of Utah. I just joined TVC about 2 months ago and really excited to be here. I think that just sitting here through all the sessions today and listening to all the stories about the great work that's going on here in the technology commercialization space, all the translational work that's going on, is just really a reaffirmation of what I saw going through the interviewing process, which was University of Utah is a really special place when it comes to innovation and commercialization. And I'm really excited to be here. I think there's probably not a whole lot more I could share with you about TVC than you've heard already today. I think from the folks that have worked with our office, hopefully some of the experiences you've heard about give you a sense of just the energy and the resources that we have, and look forward to working with everybody to help you at whatever stage of that journey that you're on. For me personally, just as Glenn mentioned, I've got a bit of an eclectic background, I guess you'd say. Everything from having worked as a clinician, an entrepreneur, a CEO, venture capitalist, and an academic technology commercialization person. I don't know if there's an exact term for that. And so, perhaps the closing thought here is that, I speak a lot of languages, I guess you would say, working in industry, academia, finance, entrepreneurship, what have you. And if you're doing translational work, I guess by definition, it's helpful to have a translator. And in that respect, that's really partly, if not entirely, the role that TVC plays, is to help translate the work that you do. And so I'd invite everyone to, if you haven't spent time working with our office, or if you have and there are new and unique questions that come to mind, please reach out, let us know how we can be helpful. And my commitment to everyone here is to likewise be available and reach out to you. So anything we can do to help, please let us know. Thank you.